Welcome to the Banner CMS demonstration. Today we are going to quickly take a look at the Banner CMS software and how it works. We are going to take a peek at the basic operation of the Banner software, what its capabilities are, and how simple it is to use. If you need a more in-depth training on all the ins and outs of this software and how to get the maximum use of it, we have some other training videos posted on our training site that go into much greater depth. Again, this is just a quick overview of the Banner software. Let's dive right in by looking at the user management over on the left-hand side of our screen. The Banner CMS software is a cloud-based software, so you can log in from any computer, tablet, or phone that has an internet connection. You can also allow multiple users in case you are not the only person in your organization that will be running the sign. For OEM dealers, the Banner software also allows a level of support for all your clients in case you need to log into their instance of Banner to help troubleshoot potential problems. If you click on Account Settings, you can edit your own account information and change your password. Now let's take a look at the actual operation of the Banner CMS software by clicking on the My Displays icon. Because this is a cloud-based software, in order for your sign to be recognized by the software, it has to be online. As you can see, my sign is. This software does provide some basic diagnostics to the sign. It has a little health check that will turn yellow or red if it detects a problem at the sign. It will also tell you if your sign is currently online and you can communicate to it. If we click on the sign, it will give us some general information about our sign. It will show what playlist is currently playing on the sign and a quick overview of the calendar that is assigned to the sign. On this sign, I do not have a playlist or a calendar assigned, so there is nothing showing right now. We can also see some other information like the serial number, sign's location, and our signs matrix. Let's move on to the Content Library icon. The Content Library is simply a storage spot that holds any content that we may want to run out on the sign. There are a few different ways to add content to the sign. The first is by clicking right here, and we can then browse to any content on our computer that was either downloaded from the internet or created in a third-party content creation software, such as Photoshop or After Effects. Just select the file you want to bring in and click Open, and the file will then upload into the Banner software. When directly importing files into the Banner software, there are a few different file types that the software can take. For still images, you can use JPEGs or PNG files. For animated content, you can import MP4 files or animated GIFs. We can also add content to the content library through the Create icon. From here, you can either create messages from scratch using the editor, or you can bring in stock media or create messages using pre-built templates from the Creative Engine. Let's start with the Creative Engine. With the purchase of a Prism View sign and the Banner software, included at no cost is some professionally created stock media that can be downloaded directly into the Banner software. There's no limit to how many of these stock messages that can be downloaded and no expiration period to these. They are free messages as long as you are running the Banner software. As you can see, we have hundreds of messages to choose from. To download any of these, simply click on the Banner CMS button and the software will download the stock media right into your content library at the correct aspect ratio for your sign, so you won't have to worry about resizing or cropping any of this content once you bring it in. When downloading stock media, it will always download two messages. One will be a still image and the other a video file. This way you can choose which to use depending on local sign restrictions. To delete any unwanted messages, just select them and click on the trash can. Let's go back to the Creative Engine and take a look at the templates. The templates are similar to the stock media in that they are professionally created messages, but are different because they can be customized. You can change what they say, their colors, and oftentimes drop in your own logo or photo. With the purchase of a Prism View sign, you have 90 days of free access to the templates. After the 90 days, there is a $99 per month cost to continue using them. Let's quickly click on one to see how it works. The templates do take a couple of minutes to create our customized message. As you can see here, this one will take about 6 minutes or less from start to finish. First, let's give our new message a name. Next, select the sign size. These templates create the messages at the exact size of the sign. So if you have multiple signs, you need to select which sign you are building the message for. Next, we get to decide if we want a still image or a video file. You will select MP4 for video or JPEG for still image. Now we start the actual customization of this message. So where it says test text 1, we can change to say whatever we want. I'm going to put in pizza special. Where it says test text 2, it will now say slice and drink. And for text 3, I'm going to put in a price. Now we get to change the colors. So everywhere we see purple, we can change to any color we want. I am now going to change the blue to an orange. And the pink to another red. This template will allow us to now drop in a logo or a photo. To upload my logo, I am going to click on the Choose File button and browse to where I have my logo saved. And then click on the Submit button. Now the Creative Engine is creating my customized message, as you can see here in the job queue. It should be done in 5 minutes or less. So while we wait for that to finish, let's take a look at creating content from scratch using the editor. This is a very basic content creation tool to create messages that will run on our sign, but it is very easy to learn and to use when compared to other third-party programs. So we start by giving our new message a name and then clicking the Create button. Once the editor is loaded, there is quite a bit we can do here. We can bring in a photo or video, add text, load a background, add in the time or the temperature. Let's start by bringing in a background. I'm going to select a previously made file that I have on my computer. Once it is done loading, just select it and click on the Add Content button, and it will drop that image right into the background. Now let's add some text by clicking on the text icon. Now the text by default is black, so we are going to need to change that to white. To change the text to say whatever we want, just double click it and now you can type in what you want it to say. Now let's change that from left justify to center. We can change the font or the font size. The other way to make the text bigger is to go back to the layers and then select the text layer and grab the corner and drag it out. We can also move our text around until we get it the right size and position. There are also some basic text transition effects. We can adjust how the text comes on or appears and how it disappears or goes off the screen. Lastly, we can come to our layers and set the duration or how long we want this message to play on the sign. If you have an appear or disappear effect, you can preview it by clicking on the Preview button. Then once you're done, just go ahead and click Save. And now if we go back to our content library, you can see that our message is now there. It looks like our message that we made in the Creative Engine template is complete and has automatically downloaded into our content library as well. Let's take a look at how that turned out. That looks great, and it's completely customized. The Creative Engine templates are pretty awesome because there are so many different templates to choose from and endless options of colors and text to make an unlimited number of custom messages. Now that we have some content in our library, we can create a playlist. A playlist is simply a rotation of messages that all share a common start and stop time. Let's create a new playlist by clicking on the Add button and then add the content to the playlist by clicking on the little plus button down in the bottom right corner of our screen. We can then select any messages in our content library and add them to our playlist. If you want, you can change the order that they will play by simply dragging them around. Let's go ahead and save this. Now that we have a playlist, we can go ahead and schedule when it will play by clicking on the calendar icon. Let's go ahead and add a new calendar. There are a couple of different views you can use here. You can view the calendar by the week, the month, or the day. Let's add our playlist to the schedule. We select our playlist using this drop-down menu, and now we can put in when we want this playlist to begin playing and end playing on the sign. Once our playlist has been added to the calendar, we can move it to a different day, or we can day part our playlist by simply dragging it down. Of course, we can also do that in the settings by adjusting the start and stop times. To make a change to an existing playlist on our calendar, simply click these three dots and select the Edit option, and it will pull up all the original start and stop settings for this playlist. Of course, you can schedule multiple playlists on a single calendar. However, you cannot overlap two playlists. In other words, you cannot schedule two playlists to play at the exact same time. Once you have your calendar the way you like it, click on the Save Sync button, and it will then send out all the content, playlists, and calendar to the sign. Now, if we go back to my displays, it will show us that there is an active calendar playing. And if we scroll down, we can get a view of the current calendar and what playlists are running and when. If we scroll back up, we can preview the playlist that is currently running on the sign. That is the basics to the Banner CMS software. If you have any questions, feel free to click on this help menu, call our 800 number, send us an email, watch more training videos, or download the user manuals from our training site.